Alright, welcome back to the channel for what is the third and hopefully YouTube willing final attempt to bring you guys a video today. So had some technical issues the first time, second time everything was fine, uploaded the video, and for whatever reason it is forever processing. I've wasted a bunch of hours with YouTube support and gotten nowhere, so let's try and do this all over again. I'm going to try to keep this one relatively briefly and just hit on the important points. So obviously we have our pre-orders and they are live, and you know, it's pretty clear what is going on here. Essentially we are seeing some of the cracks in GW's business model exposed. So here we see the Arcane Cataclysm Box. I've went into pretty much detail on exactly what's wrong with this box. Two factions that are not particularly popular, loaded with minis that are not selling. There's a glut of them from previous boxes just all over the internet, being sold for fractions of the prices in friendly local game stores. Everything from the Lumineth Realm Lords Army box, the Lumineth Realm Lords recent Christmas box set, both heavily discounted, and then of course tons and tons of Tzeentch Arkanites and Tzaangors just everywhere. So essentially this box already was not good to begin with. Previously we have seen Echoes of Doom, which was a really good box for 195 bucks, and that is still available in the GW store. And we know that when they put out these battle boxes, they intend for them to sell out rather quickly. They are usually pretty limited in supply, but the Echoes of Doom box is still available. I also have pointed out in a previous video that I had purchased Echoes of Doom and also Arena of Shades for over 30% off each. So this one has gone up another $25. Those previous two boxes were similar in composition and $195 each. This one is $220, so it went up by $25. It provides no extra value. It is less desirable models in the kit. And again, the only unique models are the two characters. So I can say with great confidence that this box is going to be yet another failure from Games Workshop, and we will see this on sale in the very near future for a fraction of the price. And if you don't believe me, just wait and see. I have a feeling this will be one of the ones that is heavily discounted, probably in the 50% range in the very near future. So that is the big box this week. We also have a Chaos Legionnaires. This is a new warband, Warcry warband. They're pretty cool models overall. I like them. Not particularly amazing, but 60 bucks, right in line with what you would expect. We see also the new style as they have converted over to the Heart of Ghur season. Centuarian Marshal is really cool. I absolutely love this model actually, and I was surprised by the price. 42 bucks is decent Games Workshop wise for prices. You know, I could easily seen them go $50 or even $60 on this, so I'm happy to see it come in at 42, and I will be picking this one up. And then we have our items from the like little expansion that came out a few months back. So GW came out with that expansion. It was like the terrain piece, and then included the Krondspine Incarnate. Didn't include the book that corresponds with them, and priced that at I want to say it was $210 or $220, and it did not sell at all. It was a complete bomb. We know they have put these kits out in the past, and again, they're very limited in quantity. They expect to sell out all of them, and again, it is still available in the store. We see the Incarnate now available individually for 60 bucks. We see the Realmscape Cleansing Aquila. This is the coolest part of the whole set, in my opinion. Very nice piece of terrain, but at $75 there is just no value here, in my opinion. And then the Megadroth Remains. Again, I really like these. These are super cool. It would go nice with the new terrain from the Heart of Ghur Warcry set, but again, 60 bucks for that. Huge miss right here. If you do total up all of these pieces though, it's 195 bucks, and there's a bunch more terrain, or a couple more pieces of terrain in that box set. So if you were going to purchase all of these, may want to just consider paying the extra few bucks and just getting the whole box set. But again, in my opinion, these will be heavily discounted, the box set and everything, in the future. So we see the Deathmaster and Lady of Vines. Again, some nice models. The recent set that they came in, the Echoes of Doom, was a really nice box, and this is $85 of it. And again, the box retails at $195. So, you know, is it worth, if you're going to buy these for 85 bucks, is it worth just picking up the whole box, especially discounted, 140 or less, like I got it for? I would definitely recommend it. And then here we see the Rogal Dorn Emperor's Crusade limited edition. So here we have an example of what they typically do with these limited edition books. 65 bucks for them. There's usually about 2,000, or in this case 2,500 copies signed by the author. Let's go ahead and just skip down here though, and we're going to take a look at the orc box that went up on sale here. And you know, this is the Warboss Mega Limited Edition, not just a regular limited edition, it's Mega Limited, even though it still has the same amount, 2,000, again signed by author. So in this case, they have basically taken that $65 price point and added an extra $85 to it. And for that $85, you get the book you would normally get, and then you get a box to keep it all in. You get some plastic teeth and a fake leather bag, a sticker, a little map that comes folded up, and of course your little grot book as well. So in my opinion, total money grab. It looks like they basically just tossed a bunch of Chinese trinkets with this and then jacked up the price. I don't see any value here. If you are a hardcore orc collector, I totally get it. I'm not trying to put you down or anything. We all pick what we spend our purchases on, but this to me just seems like a overinflated way to basically just capitalize on people's like FOMO for limited products. The price point is absolutely ridiculous. It's $65. The books are already pretty expensive. Signed in limited edition makes sense. It's cool. I get it. But see, we know even now we're well into the time of the pre-order periods. Again, this is like the third time I'm shooting this video, and these are still readily available. We know normally the scalpers come in and pick these up in seconds. As a matter of fact, I waited to get the limited box for the Thousand Suns, the Ahriman box, and it was literally sold out instantly. I didn't even get a chance to get one. Even after waiting, I couldn't get it in my cart and check out fast enough. So obviously, that is much, much more popular than this Warboss edition, or even the scalpers are running out of money. So definitely seeing, again, some more cracks exposed in the GW price hike slash limited edition FOMO model. So moving on down here, we do see the Drekki Flynt book and miniature collection and the Cado Ezechiar book and miniature collection. For those of you out there that are into these books, I'm sure these are going to be pretty cool. Kordron Overlords and also a little vampire action. I really like this Cado Ezechiar model. If I didn't already have a super cool vampire from that Underworld set to be my Strahd in D&D, this guy would definitely take the cake, as this model is super cool. I will definitely be picking him up. So next we have the Warcry Compendium, like kind of came out like last week, somewhere in between. So GW had released all of the stuff in the compendium for free, the fighter cards and also the ability cards, which was super cool. But I was speculating that actually there was some weird delays going on, and they didn't want to hold back the starter set anymore. Now, at first, that was just speculation, but through some further research, I discovered that I was in fact correct. GW is still having some serious issues with shipping and, basically like getting things out on time. So we're going to go ahead and go take a look at that. So obviously, we saw quite a few of the recent box sets that have come out, heavily discounted. I mentioned in a video recently that I actually purchased the new Necromunda Ash Waste box set online for under $200. A couple people had pointed out it's on not only eBay but also Amazon as well for about $188. So by the time you pay tax and shipping, you can actually have that delivered to your door for under $200. And the box set just came out and retail at $295, so it's already like 33% off on a brand new box, which basically tells you it is not selling at all. And I exposed also what the issue was with this. GW was trying to go with that $300 price point, similar to what they did with the Necromunda Zone Mortalis set or a Dark Uprising set. But what they don't realize or overlooked or just figured they would try anyway is that Zone Mortalis terrain was originally only offered from Forgeworld, and it was extremely expensive. And providing it in plastic after like decades of people waiting for it created demand for it. And even that box set sold extremely poorly at first. It wasn't until it started like drying up that people started really going after that one once the availability was not there. So that being said, they obviously tried that on Necromunda. Essentially misled the customers about what was going to be in the box as well. They made it sound like all the vehicle rules were going to be in there, and then it turns out it's only partial rules for 2 factions. So it was just overall a complete atrocity. And then they revealed the floor plan going forward, and it just looks like a bunch more books and individual releases. And the Necromunda bloat has reached, I would say, like next level. So that being said, let's take a look at this is the Warcry combat gauge. So I pointed this out previously in a video that Games Workshop, obviously for any kind of promotion internationally, has to disclose the exact terms of that promotion. So GW had created 4,925 of these Warcry combat gauges available for free when you purchase a copy of the new Warcry starter set. And obviously, they are still available now, even weeks later after the multi-week pre-order period. So they have not even sold 5,000 copies of this worldwide, which is obviously absolute disappointments. I mean, I've seen obviously locally and online and heard from community members, store owners, employees, etc., that this box is not selling at all. Does not surprise me, as the $210 price point previously was already an increase over $195. So them turning this into $230, and then also the whole seasons thing, I think has scared away even more players. So very unfortunate, as Warcry is a fun game, but clearly the business plan, the model of Games Workshop that they're trying is not working. So now I want to point out one more thing, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. So GW is known for its poor editing and quality of overall content. They obviously make constant spelling errors, terrible dad jokes, and overall just drop the ball on pretty much anything. I'm sure you guys have experienced plenty of broken links and issues like these. But here we can see actually Games Workshop exposed once again. So here it says this offer is valid for the free combat gauge from Saturday, the 4th of June, 2022, and is valid until the earlier of. There is no stock of Warcry combat gauges remaining, aka they sell 5,000 copies, or the end of the 30th of November, 2022. Now, the only problem is that June 4th is when this promotion started, but Warcry didn't even go up for pre-order until like the beginning of August. So this box set was already delayed over 2 months. So again, that fully just shows that Games Workshop still has serious cracks below the surface. They have horrible shipping shipping issues. They have the inability to keep items in stock. They're overproducing things that they think will do well, and they're completely bombing. And then the things that do well, they're completely underproducing. We know Games Workshop doesn't like to keep, supplies. They don't like to keep stock. This is just, they're just falling apart. Everything is massively discounted. New releases coming out and either selling out or not selling at all. They are just completely dropping the ball on everything. So I am very, very confident to say that in the near future, we will continue to see the cracks exposed. And by the end of the year, we already saw in the previous fiscal year, Games Workshop disclosed that they actually had to close more stores than they opened. So they're closing down retail stores. And then on top of that, we know that the only reason they even hit their sales, same sales as last year from their core operating business, was through basically renting out the IP, or essentially just letting anybody with a checkbook use the IP as long as they send them a little cash. So and that's fine if they want to basically sell out their IP to make the ends meet. That is totally fine. But when you do that breakdown and you see it, that is not what a healthy company is doing. Now, I'm not saying Games Workshop is going to go out of business. I'm not saying they are financially in trouble or anything. I'm just saying that they are reaching issues because right now they are in the growth stages of their company and they're not even reinvesting in growth. They just paid out 91% of their profits last year via dividend, which means they spent way too much money paying out a dividend and not enough money investing on efficiency. And everybody knows that economies of scale, Games Workshop is by far the biggest miniature game war game manufacturer, and if they can't produce products less expensive than the competition, which they clearly can't, or they choose not to, there's something seriously wrong, with their game plan. So, and they're obviously not investing in new equipment or machineries or warehouses to a degree that you would expect. And when I say that, I mean that essentially they have invested. They obviously have another Warhammer warehouse in Nottingham, etc. And they're doing some stuff. They're bringing some of their manufacturing back home. They're moving some of the Forgeworld production into plastic, etc. So they're making some moves in the right direction. Unfortunately, the amount that they're investing, and we can see that through CapEx expenditures on their publicly disclosed information, the amount they're investing is like a fraction of, what they are basically, paying out in dividends, etc. So if they actually cared about the business, if they actually cared about growth, you, me, and growing the hobby, they would be putting money back into the company to make it more efficient, more effective, etc. But they're doing the opposite. They're doing what a well-established, long-term company that's no longer growing, that has reached maximum market penetration does. which is basically just stagnate and then just extract all the excess capital from the company. That is not good. So that basically tells me that once again, Games Workshop management has completely dropped the ball, and they have no idea how to grow the company going into the future and what they need to do as far as capital expenditures to solve some of these issues. So essentially the only thing they're doing to bridge the gap right now is just packing tons of models into boxes and then raising the prices on models to make up for their lack of sales. And again, this is just not sustainable, as more and more people are walking away from Games Workshop and choosing alternative methods, alternative game companies, rules, models, or 3D printing. So you know, I love Games Workshop IP, but the actual company and the management is just absolutely atrocious. So get ready for big discounts, guys. I've been calling it out in advance, and we have seen it one after another. Things going on sale for 50% off, some things 30% off, even some things discounted over 50% off. And as more and more retail stores close, and we continue this trend of Games Workshop basically shrinking its footprint, it's going to become evident. And I am very confident by end of year, we will see another massive drop in the stock price, probably somewhere around 33 to 50% lower from where we're at now. And then on top of that as well, expect big layoffs coming as Games Workshop has to cut costs to make up for a lack of, you know, profits. But that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I kind of tried to sum it up there. Went a little longer than I liked, but again, this is my third attempt at today's video, so hopefully it was enjoyable. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment down below. Put out at least one video every single day: reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion, tutorials, magnetizations. Just had a brand new commission come out of the studio for the Adeptus Sororitas Nundum, you know, the big suits and all that stuff, so make sure you check out that video. And of course, if you're into Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, or some Horus Heresy content, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. I'd like for everybody to point out big sales that they've seen recently, and I'm going to do a follow-up video showing off a bunch of cool spots where you can get super discounted minis if you guys are interested in that as well. So that's it for today, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.